The Indigo Disk is officially out and... Wait, what's that noise?
What is that?
The Indigo Disk has been out for a day and oh my god, am I having so much fun. Like, why did Kieran turn all emo all of a sudden? It's not just a phase, guys. You wouldn't understand. He looks like he'd listen to Panic at the Disco. Okay, all jokes aside, his story arc is what made the DLC even better than I expected. Before we even got to play any part of the DLC, I just assumed that he was just another character who would just annoy us. But bro, I couldn't have been more wrong. The teal mask was an amazing first part of the DLC. While some of you were let down by it, personally I wasn't. But I do have to say that they had us in the first half. Because if you thought the teal mask was good, wait until you play the Indigo Disk. I'm not even done with it and I'm having a blast. And for those of you guys that are wondering if you should get this game, well, that's for you guys to decide by watching this video. The subtle hints to Generation 5 are just the cherry on top. While this game is still technically Scarlet and Violet, there is still a lot of bugs and glitches. You just forget that they exist though because of how Gen 5 oriented this new DLC is. The reason it has many references to Generation 5 is because the Blueberry Academy is actually set in the Unova region. And yes, we are in the Unova region in 2023. That's pretty cool to say. I wish I could just fly over to Pokemon Black and White though. But if you are a fan of Pokemon Black and White, you will instantly notice all of the hints to this game. When it comes to the music, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. The remix to the Generation 5 battle theme is perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better battle theme. Pokemon knew what they were doing when it came down to the nostalgia for the fans. And what's even better is the whole game is filled with these types of references. The Terrarium Dome theme switches for each area you go to and has a reference to Driftville City, and it sounds like a mashup of a bunch of Generation 5 themes. While the music gives off Generation 5 references, the game also brought a bunch of returning Pokemon and a lot of them are from Gen 5. But not only is it from Pokemon Black and White, it's also a bunch of other Pokemon from other generations as well. They brought back every single starter Pokemon and just a whole bunch of legendaries. I'll link a site for you guys to look at every single mon added into the Indigo Disk, but these are just a few of them. The Pokemon Company really didn't give us much information about the DLC going into it, and I feel like that just made our expectations lower than usual. I mean, they were already low to start with, since Scarlet and Violet were just okay. The story alone was typical for a DLC, since I was only expecting 3 to 4 hours of story content, and that doesn't include post-game stuff. I got through it relatively quickly, and the story is pretty easy to understand it. You just have to take on the Blueberry Academy's version of the Elite Four and then fight the champion, which is your little emo friend Kieran. And then you just kick his butt. If you haven't gotten to that part yet, you should throw out an Ogre Pond and see what he says. It's so funny because it's just rubbing salt into the wound for him. He says something like, "You got some nerve bringing out that ogre now of all times." You actually get to explore more of Area Zero, and it adds a sense of mystery to the entire story. I got the goosebumps a few times while doing my playthrough, just because of how suspenseful it was. The cutscenes were really cool to see, and I wish Pokemon did more cutscenes. Even though there was no voice acting, it's still cool, and plus I just make up their own voices in my head. I think Kira would sound like Naruto or something. Since the storyline continues from the Teal Mask, you aren't able to skip straight to the Indigo Disk right away if you haven't beaten the first part of the DLC. This is because in the Teal Mask, we see Kieran as a young boy who looks up to you as the main character. He is one of the only people who feels pity for the Pokemon Ogre Pond and wants to meet it. But you end up beating Kieran every single time, and even having Ogre Pond choose you over Kieran, making Kieran absolutely devastated. So when he went back to his home, the Blueberry Academy, he wanted to become better. And bro really started his villain arc, because in the Indigo Disk, we see Kieran and he changed his entire name to Kiki and tries acting all big and bad. He changes his appearance too, and he puts his hair up. It looks purple because underneath his hair in the Teal Mask it was purple. Like as if we didn't just cook this kid up a few months ago. He really thinks he can beat us, but like, be for real, I'm sending an entire team of level 100 shiny Arceuses and he has a Dragon Apple. A Dragon Apple. Like, be for real, Kieran. Tell me why this kid, even after we beat him, still thinks he can beat me after catching Terrapagos. But then he almost dies, so we have to save his life. I mean, I guess he apologizes, but this kid really caused all of this because he was sad over an ogre. Like a legit ogre. All of this was caused because he couldn't get over Ogre Pond. Like, get good, Kieran. Okay, but jokes aside, the character development with Kieran through both of the DLCs was one of my favorite character developments in Scarlet and Violet. After beating the game, you can go to the Crystal Pools in Kitakami to see the professor, and they give you a book, and it just expands upon the story and the time paradox and all that stuff, blah blah blah, you get the point. But the post-game stuff after beating the Indigo Disk includes a bunch of things. For one, you have these things called BBQs, and no, it doesn't stand for barbecue, even though that sounds pretty good. Barbecue. Okay, enough thinking about barbecue. BBQ stand for Blueberry Quest, and they're pretty valuable in the Indigo Disk because it's what you need to buy a lot of things. It just gives you more incentive to play the game, and I personally find it really satisfying to complete them. And when you team up with your friends, it makes it really fun to do. Pokemon knows that they have to keep the fan base busy until the next set of games, because we're gonna need to have a lot of stuff to do so we don't get bored. I also believe that by doing BBQs, you're able to unlock the legendary Pokemon static encounters. And no, before you guys ask, they cannot be shiny hunted. I know how you guys feel. I feel the same way. Oh, let's just not buy the Indigo Disk now. That's a deal breaker. Just kidding though. Let's all complain about it in the comments because, be for real, that's the only thing we can do. After doing the quest in the Indigo Disk, you will be able to encounter all of the 25 legendary Pokemon throughout the Indigo Disk and the Paldea region. Aside from doing that, you can also catch the new Paradox Pokemon. And there is actually a quest to do with Parent in the Indigo Disk that you can do in order to find these new Pokemon. And also, the Pokemon Meloetta makes a return, so you can find Meloetta and catch it. I actually don't know how to, but you are able to somehow, so just find out. And one of the most bizarre features that you saw at the beginning of this video was the synchronizing with your Pokemon feature. Yes, you can control the mind of your Pokemon and control them. You can access it by talking to the scientist lady in the middle and doing her challenge, which is like stupid easy. After that, you can control your Pokemon. And this is so funny, especially using Toadstool to run around, or going on top of the mountain and sinking into Charizard and flying around as him. That's everything I would have dreamed of and more when I was little, and it's coming true. And the best part about this is that you can troll your friends into thinking they got a shiny Pokemon. You know what? Let's just prove this theory. Hello?
Oh, hello?
Oh, hey Danny. What's up?
Nothing much, I'm just playing.
Wanna start a union?
Sure.
Alright, I'm making it.
Just tell me to go when you're ready. Hopping in right now. So, what are we gonna do today?
Just shiny hunt, maybe do some BBQs.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. Oh, the drip is crazy. Okay.
Oh, the polar biome. Oh, I'm shiny hunting ice type Pokemon right now.
Oh, okay. No way! Danny, there's a shiny Porygon over here.
What? Where? Wait.
Over here, up top,
wait.
up top.
I see it.
Really? Get it.
Yeah. Wait.
Get it.
No, it didn't. Why did my Pokeball went through?
It went through?
It was supposed to hit the Porygon. Why is it moving like that? Why is
I think
it
it's
not,
glitched. I think it's glitched.
It's not glitched. It's a
glitched.
bug problem or something. What is going on?
I think it's glitched. I think it's glitched.
I can't get the shiny.
Hold up. I think
Why is it moving so weird?
I'm glitched out. I can't move.
What is happening?
Hey, Danny, look at the Porygon. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. It's not working.
Did it disappear?
Yeah, where did it go?
I trolled you, bro. I trolled
What?
you. that's
I
mine.
didn't do that. I am done. I'm done with this game. I'm done. I wanted that shiny.
Yo, he left. He left.